Welcome to part 8 of the True Space for Illustrators tutorial series. We load the chip.psd file, which is a picture rendered from a scene which you can find in the TS project library called Layer. We rendered this scene using the Per Geometry option. This mode is useful for technical illustrations. So first let's quickly hide sections of the object by turning on or off the associated clipping layer. We can vary the opacity to create transparency in certain parts of our render as well. We can apply any sort of processing specifically to certain geometries, such as changing the color for making diagrams. These diagrams would help to highlight certain objects within the image to allow us to better demonstrate or explain what is happening. So we can use this to make certain parts of the construction stand out. Of course, we could apply filters to specific objects too for special effects in the scene, and we are not limited to just changing the color as seen here. For our next example, we want a fog or depth cue effect in a picture. We load fog PSD, which you will find in the resources folder, and you will also find the scene to render this image. As you can see, the image contains only a single layer. In the channels though, as well as the red, green and blue, we have depth mask information. We will use this mask to create the fog effect, which will have the fog vary with distance. We duplicate the background layer, and then we load the depth mask into the selection using load selection. We then use add layer mask to turn the selection into a layer mask. Now the opacity of the layer varies with how far away the object is in the scene. Now we create a new layer and apply a cloud filter to it. We can see how the transparency works to increase the effect of the clouds on distant objects. Using the rectangular marquee with a 50 pixel feathering, we select and use Ctrl X to delete the upper part of the clouds. The fog is a bit dark, so we increase the brightness. The color doesn't match our scene, so we use hue with colorize check to adjust the color to blend in with our scene. Now we will show an easy way to vary the fog with true 3D distance, all within Photoshop. This is done simply by adjusting the contrast in the layer mask. We can make the fog move into the distance by adjusting the slider, or we can make it cover even the foreground objects. So creativity is the rule here. And we can even add a mask to our clouds that are acting as fog. Select the layer, add an empty layer mask, and apply a cloud filter on it to vary the transparency of the fog as well. So as you can see, we have access to much more information than we normally have in a 2D image, such as the distance information or separate geometry. We can only fire your imagination here and help you begin exploring the wide range of possibilities.